Hi everyone, my name is Rufame Arkinol and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Get ready, enjoy, and learn with me. So before we start, let's first define the word psychology. What is psychology? Psychology is the study of human behavior, mental health, cognition, emotions, and development. It covers everything from understanding individual minds to how we interact with society and provides tools for improving well-being. So since the main goal of the curriculum is to bring about learning, therefore, curriculum developers need to know how humans learn so that humans can incorporate psychological principles when they design, develop, and implement curriculum. So, according to John Locke, he compared children's minds to blank slates or tabula rasa. So, why do you think John Locke compared children's minds to blank slates or tabula rasa? So John Locke compared children's mind to blank slates or tabula rasa because he believed that when we are born, we don't have any pre-existing knowledge or ideas. Instead, everything we know comes from our experiences and interactions with the world as we grow up. So these are the four psychological perspectives in the curriculum. So the first one is behaviorism, second one is cognitivism, third one is constructivism, and lastly the humanism. And today we will only focusing on the behaviorism and its proponents. So what is behaviorism? So behaviorism views learning as the process of forming habits. So according to this perspective, teaching involves carefully structuring learning experiences to encourage specific desirable behaviors in students. According to the second column, teaching is regarded as arranging learning experiences in such a way as to promote desirable behavior. Teaching is about setting up activities and lessons in a way that encourages students to act and learn in the way the teacher wants. It's about creating situations that help students develop good habits and behaviors. To sum it all up, teaching involves designing lessons and activities that guide students toward developing positive behavior and learning habits. So, behaviorists believe that behavior can be conditioned by altering the environment. According to this, behaviorists think that we can influence how people behave by changing their surroundings. For example, by using rewards, consequences, or other external factors, we can encourage certain behaviors and discourage others. This idea is based on the belief that behavior is largely a response to environmental stimuli. So, by altering those stimuli, we can condition or train people to act in a specific way. At this juncture, let's now move on to the proponents of behaviorism. First, we have Ivan Pavlov. He is a Russian psychologist who introduced the theory of classical conditioning. He showed that an organism can associate a particular stimulus with a particular response. Ivan Pavlov introduced the theory of classical conditioning, which demonstrates how an organism can learn to associate a specific stimulus with a specific response. So, for an example, Jerlisa showed that if a dog hears a bell every time it's about to be fed, the dog will eventually start to salivate just from hearing the bell, even if no food is presented. The bell or the stimulus becomes linked to the dog's salivation or the response. This concept is a central understanding how behaviors can be learned through association. Now, let's move on to the next proponent, Edward Thorndike. He proposed the three laws. The first one is the law of effect, law of exercise, and lastly, the law of readiness. The first law is the law of effect. The response that is reinforced or the positive will become habitual. When you keep getting rewarded for doing something good, like getting praised or a treat, you're more likely to keep doing it. Over time, this behavior becomes a habit because you've been reinforced with something positive every time you do it. Second is the law of exercise. It states here that connection that stimulus and response will be strengthened with practice. The law of exercise means that the more you practice something, the better and stronger the connection between what you see or do, which is the stimulus, and how you react. The response becomes, for example, if you keep practicing math problems or playing an instrument, your brain gets used to it and you get better in doing it without even thinking much. Basically, the more you repeat something, or the more natural it becomes. So the lastly is the law of readiness. Certain behaviors are more likely to be learned than others because the nervous system of the organism is ready to make the connection, leading to satisfying of state of affairs. The law of readiness means that you're more likely to learn or pick certain behaviors when you're mentally or physically prepared for them. If you're ready and motivated to learn something, like solving a new type of problem or learning a new skill, you're more likely to be successful because your brain and body are prepared to make those connections. This readiness helps lead to a positive and satisfying experience. At this juncture, let's now move on to the last proponents of behaviorism, which is B.F. Skinner. Operant conditioning is a learning process where behaviors are shaped by rewards or consequences. When a particular response or behavior is reinforced, meaning it is followed by a reward, of the individual is more likely to repeat that behavior in the future. There are two main types of reinforcement. The first one is the positive reinforcement. This involves giving a reward or after a desired behavior. For example, if you give a student praise or a prize for completing their homework, they are more likely to continue doing their homework in the future. The second one is the negative reinforcement. This involves removing an unpleasant stimulus when a desired behavior occurs. For instance, if a teacher reduces homework for students who consistently perform well, they are motivated to keep up their good performance. Additionally, operant conditioning also includes punishment, which is used to decrease undesirable behaviors. This involves applying an unpleasant consequence or removing a pleasant stimulus to reduce the likelihood of behavior being repeated. For example, if a student is given extra chores for not completing their assignments, the goal is to discourage them for missing assignments in the future. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you follow for more.